take these vitamins real quick. Got tons of them. My wife gives them all to me, all fish oil. But we're not here exactly to talk about health. We're here to talk about growing our businesses, my businesses. I'm Mike Pyatt. We also have Bryan Fleming going his business. And also we record these. That way you can listen in on it and use it to grow your business as well. Because each time we switch back and forth, focusing on each other's businesses, focusing on some insights, where we're going, see if we can give each other any bottom line, at least accountability, but also some perspective, maybe some acceleration tips, insights, etc. So right before this, Bryan was talking about how he was doing some split testing and got some insights, and also want to talk about some keyword research, which both those topics are huge. So excited to dive into that. Plus at the end, I'll give a little update when I'm doing as well. So Bryan, what do you got for us today?
Yeah. Boy, Mike, I got to tell you, I take a lot of supplements too. In fact, the other day I was thinking of how many damn supplements I take, but man, your health is super important, especially like I'm getting up to like 50 years old, and like a lot of guys my age who haven't taken care of their health, like it's taken a toll on their energy and their focus and all these things. So yeah, supplements, you got to watch it, you know, get good supplements, but yeah, I take a ton too. So with the business, I think in our last video, we talked about, I was going to split test ClickBank and my regular credit card processor, right? Because why the hell not? Maybe ClickBank does a lot better, right? And I got some super interesting results. I want to go through them. I'd like your decision, and then I'll tell you the decision I ended up making on it.
Okay. Sounds good.
I finished my keyword planner.
Nice.
And like Thursday, I was thinking of canceling that service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I got billed for it Monday.
Okay.
And it's the first time ever I canceled it from PayPal, and I actually emailed the person back and asked for my $45 back.
Okay.
And people do that to me all the time with PC Tattletale, so I get it. I get the perspective now. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was going to cover. You ready? You ready to get into it?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
And we'll look at Google Analytics first and talk about that.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Okay, cool. You see my Google Analytics?
Yes.
All right. You see, you got 11 people on the site right now?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Isn't that sweet? And it tells you what they're looking at. There's some one person on the blog article right now, Mike, of that post you're boosting that I'm getting the links from. Got an Android person. I got 8 people using the software right now. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
So we come down to experiments. And I started the experiment, and it didn't work, and it was tricky to set up because it was on a interior page. So I set it back up, and I ran it for 7 days. Mike, this is the bottom of my funnel. So these are sales, okay?
Okay.
And what would the results of this split test tell you?
That ClickBank won.
Like no brainer, right?
Yeah.
Brain dead obvious.
I would think so, yeah.
Yep. But I noticed that I got a lot more than 3 sales through AuthorizeNet. So I thought, well, boy, something must not be working right. I know I got a hell of a lot more than 3 sales. So then what I did is I went through, I took these page views, and I took the sales of each. I just added up the number of sales that went through that processor, because there's frankly no other way they can really buy the software. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look here, I see that ClickBank made 16 sales and AuthorizeNet actually made 11 sales, right?
Okay. And
when I divide these out, my rates are very different. 7 and 10% versus 2 and 5%. So when I look at this, now I would say AuthorizeNet
is the views accurate too?
What's that?
Is the views accurate too? Because if the sales was off for AuthorizeNet, is the 101 views on AuthorizeNet accurate?
what I do know is in this same time span, I know they showed the page 104 times and 241, and maybe I took this. Yeah, I got these a little early when I did these, but anyway.
But I'm saying if Google Analytics missed whatever 7 sales or whatever 8 sales, then did they also miss some views as well? Because then that would spike and lower the conversion rate too.
Yeah, I don't think it would miss the views, but I could see where it would not trigger the sales.
Why do you think it not triggered the conversion?
I think there's something, my goal's looking for a particular thank you page. And maybe certain kind of purchases, there's a capitalization difference or something that it's not getting triggered. So it's funny you say that. My first inclination was to stop the experiment, because here's the insight, right? You may not know this about Google Analytics, but what it does is it shows the winner more often, and then it shows the loser left often. So if this is true, what it's doing is good. But if it's not true, it's slowly sinking my business, you know?
True.
Because when I look at this is a 30% different conversion rate. That's significant.
Right.
And then, so what I said, Mike, is I said, well, if this is true, that ClickBank converts better than AuthorizeNet, then how many sales would it have had to make for that to be true? And I said, well, if it did double the sales and was at 15%, it'd be a clear winner, and it'd have to do 34 sales for that to be true. But it only did 16.
Wow. Yeah.
So from looking at this, it tells me that AuthorizeNet was the better checkout page.
Yeah.
Now, my own hypothesis, putting a credit card into a checkout page versus clicking a button and being taken off to someone else's checkout page, I think the integrated checkout page would convert higher.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Which is again what this is proving. So what would you do in this situation?
Yeah, I would double check that the views were just counted, because if the sales were mistracked, then I would just want to double check somehow with the views. So maybe there's some sort of other thing you could put in place, whether it's, I don't know, maybe like another tracker or something like that, or a different way to set it up to see. Because yeah, there's nothing worse than not having the data at all. But then what's even worse is having inaccurate data. So I've done that so many times where with stuff with like AdWords and stuff, like the conversion tracking's off, and then like I make decisions based on that, and then yeah, it leads you in the wrong way, you know?
That's why I think this is a great video, because you're seeing that how that plays out. And the other thing is we're talking bottom of funnel. So this is like sales. Like this page is like moves a big lever, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely good.
I would have to get, 30% difference in traffic is, 400 people a day.
Right.
Versus this one conversion. Anything else?
No, yeah, I would just
check the view count,
sure, like how accurate it is, and then yeah, make the decision based off that.
I came up with something similar. I thought the views were good, but it definitely didn't count all the sales. And for it to be true, all the sales would have to be accounted for. There's even PayPal sales in here, which are on those payment pages. So there were a lot more sales that just didn't get counted, right?
Right.
And then you think, well, then all of your reporting's not counting all the sales. So that like kind of spiders itself, you know?
True.
So it'd probably be worth it to get that fixed. But when I looked at it, I said, it doesn't look like ClickBank's going to win. I don't see any evidence that ClickBank's going to win here. So
now views is on what page? Views is like, how did you track that specifically?
Yep. So what happens is they're inside of the app, and then they get hit up with nag screens to purchase something.
Okay.
To upgrade to see the whole video and see all the chats, right?
Okay.
Then they pick a plan, and then they get
Wait,
taken
so
to a
that
check.
view, when is that when it counts as a view when it comes up on the
Nope,
application?
we're not there yet. This is at the bottom of the funnel. So
Okay.
they're, you know, hey, let's just do this. So all these people now using my app, right? That are on it right now. Let's see. There we go. 14. We got 7 people using it right now.
Yep.
All right. So those people, if they're a free trial customer, they can't use the whole app. They got to buy it. They go to a separate page where they pick a plan. And then after they pick the plan, they're taken to a checkout page, which tells them how much they're going to be billed and has them pick a payment method.
Okay.
The Authorize Net, it has an integrated form right on that page. You just start typing in your name. I set it up, Mike, where if you type in M, it's going to say Mike Pyatt and pre-fill the whole form. Nice. And if you click on the Visa one, as soon as you touch it, it's going to pop open the credit card you have saved in your browser. You just confirm it, and it's like 2 clicks. It fills it in.
And that's the page that was being split tested, right?
That's the Authorize Net one. Yep, that's this one right here. Authorize Net page, right?
Yep.
The other one has a button that says buy with ClickBank, and then you're taken to ClickBank's checkout page.
Okay.
Okay. So I do think the integrated one's probably better. And, you know, for me, it was looking at this and saying, if ClickBank was a real winner, this is what your numbers would look like. And, you know, it's closer to not than that, you know, because it got more views. Just trying to normalize it a bit.
Right.
So yeah, I shut the experiment down right away, and I said, why bother? Authorize Net's probably better. Get your chargeback situation under control and do something else that's going to move the needle more. Put more features in your software. Stop screwing around with this. And that was my decision.
But an interesting point too is, like, when you're making decisions like this, like, do you ever think about like, let's say, so ClickBank could then get you like affiliates. So do you ever think about in terms of that? Like, yes, this conversion rate would be lower, but then I have some potential upside with, like, that would make up for that lower conversion rate with, like, affiliates selling it?
No. And the thing is I take my wife's advisement on the business to heart, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm sure you do that with Sarah too, because I could be right or something, and I could be wrong or something. And if we don't agree and I'm wrong, I look like a total idiot, you know?
Right.
But if my wife says something and she ends up being wrong, then, like, I don't know, that just seems better, right?
Yep.
So she does not like ClickBank affiliates at all, because she sees all the old videos and all the poor marketing attempts, and it just lowers the brand of the product altogether with inexperienced affiliates. You know, some idiot made a bad video 8 years ago and it's floating around on YouTube, and people think that's the software today, and it's 8-year-old piece of software. It looks nothing like that, you know?
Makes sense.
So she is not thrilled about the ClickBank affiliates, and
makes sense then.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to use it as a backup payment source if I run into problems with my credit card processing.
Smart.
And really just focus on making the iPhone product better, making the Android product better, that sort of thing.
I like it. So you do take in consideration other data points, but in this case, that's a second strike for ClickBank, because it's not even worth it for the affiliates, because they're just going to make it worse, most likely, in this case.
Well, now you're... I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it was showing that it did, from this data here, it does not appear to even look like or smell like a winner, right?
Right.
So why bother running another experiment? Why bother?
Makes sense.
You already have the better horse.
And use it as a backup.
Yep, use it as a backup. But fixing that problem of it not recording all the sales, I think, is important, because it's only going to give me better analytics as to which blog posts are generating sales. It's probably missing a lot of those, right?
True. Yep.
And I look at that a lot. That's where we buy links and things for. So in any case, that was a ClickBank experiment. Of course, now it just feels like a big waste of time because it lost, but you didn't know, right? And I got a backup payment source ready to go. So we're ready to move on to SEO?
Yeah, Definitely.
All right, man. These are fast hit ones. So I told you I paid $45 a month for a keyword tool. And
Yep.
you suggested, I think we kind of on one of these calls came to the idea that there's really, after you exhaust the tool, there's no point in using it anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yep. If you don't use it monthly. And it
I
was
canceled it, right?
KWFinder, right? .com.
Yep. And I went into the keyword planner. I typed in competitor names. I typed in broad search terms, just big swathing terms like keylogger and computer spy software and Android spy, just a bunch of them, right?
Yes.
And Google generated like 2,500 terms. So I downloaded all those and I started going through this tool and looking them all up. And then along the way, I got smarter about it. And I said, you know, I don't need to know a term that gets like 50 searches a month, because I was running into their daily cap on the usage and I wanted to get through them.
Okay.
So toward the end, I started saying, you know, it has to get at least 100 searches a month to even look at it, kind of put a filter on there. And some of them I wasn't able to look up the difficulty, but I got 350 terms when it all washed out, which is kind of interesting to me that out of 2,500, like 350 would have over 100 searches. Is that something normal you see? Like the long tails that long?
1 sec. Hey, can you stop that? Sorry. Sarah was just blow drying her hair in the other room and it was really loud.
Oh, no, okay. I couldn't even hear it.
Ask it again.
All right. So this is from this tool, though. This isn't from Google. This tool says the search volume. And before I had it do the difficulty lookup, which you're capped on, I said, well, just give me the ones that are over 100 searches a month. You know, okay. I don't need to deal with any of the small ones. And I ended up with the top 350. So what I did, Mike, is I sorted these by their SEO difficulty score.
Okay.
And I know with your links, I can get to, I've gotten to position difficulty of a 30.
Okay.
So I know like anything below like here, I'm good. I think with your links and my blog articles, we can get those, right?
Okay. Yep.
So let me get down to here. Would you agree we'd work up the list?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, also I always take in, search volume, obviously, you know.
Yeah, that's I'm looking at. So I see this should be like a super easy term to rank for, right? Just write the blog article, not even any links, but it's not a great term.
Yeah. And the third thing is, how good of a term is it?
What is a term? So we're going to look at difficulty, search volume, and then the term.
Perfect.
I don't even know if I need to bother with these. I could probably just hide these, right? Hide. All right. So now I got difficulty and search volume. And when I come up the list, my spy login. So this is something I notice is a lot of my competitors show up here. So True Spy APK download. What do you think of this one? That's a competitor of mine.
Now, doesn't APK mean like a crack or something?
An APK is the file that you would download to put it on an Android phone. So my thoughts on this one is this is someone who either has the True Spy app or wants a download. They're sophisticated enough to know it's called an APK one way or another.
Right.
So they're ready to download it onto their phone. I could do a blog post like True Spy APK download alternative and talk about my product, right?
Right.
If it's easy to rank for, it's got good search volume, that might be an angle, right?
Yes.
Now I come up and I see Web Watcher, and here's another Truth Spy, right? So I think writing things about this True Spy app as a
Okay.
competitor of mine seems like something that's going to win, because now I've seen two terms that are low difficulty and pretty high search volume, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Then I get to this one, spy bubble.
Okay.
And now this one has a crap ton of searches, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wow. 22,000.
Yeah. Now this one, I would say maybe this one's an anomaly. I'd have to keep going up the list and see if there's more spy bubble terms that I have that kind of confirm this. Because if this is just a data anomaly, I'd hate to chase this keyword for one keyword, you know?
True.
So this one I'd say looks good, may write an article on it, but it's kind of suspect data. Here we have WebWatcher data. So this would be someone who purchased WebWatcher and is signing in to use their products. Here's another WebWatcher data right here. You're seeing some WebWatcher
Most
stuff.
likely that wouldn't be a good person because they already bought it.
I agree. Yeah, I would just kind of look past that, right?
Yep.
We're getting in the 20s. We got a top spy app that looks like a competitor. Snooper app, another competitor. Starting to get competitive. All right. So this is kind of a generic term now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a free modifier on it. Hidden spy app Android free, another free modifier. So this hidden spy app, that seems like a cluster that's, you know, not super hard to rank for, but it's confirmed. You're seeing the term over and over.
Right.
There's another free Android spy. So there's like a pocket there. Would you agree?
Now, based on your data, what's the data on any terms that like include free?
If you take the word free out?
No, if you use the word free, I'm just trying to say, like, obviously I know some would convert, but is it like low conversions on those type of keywords? Do you know anything like that? Like the conversion rate of ones that say free, like when they say free, like how committed to free are they? Do still some buy?
That's a great thing. They may be very committed to free until they can't find a solution, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can, is there free solutions, you know?
Well, I would write this post, and at the bottom, I've done it on a few of them. I put like a headline: "Why not free?" And then I kind of build this case that
Makes sense.
you really want a free spy app? I mean, how are they going to make data? How are they going to make their money?
Right. Right.
Off your personal information?
Yeah, seriously, that's a good point.
So I
Okay.
try to overcome that objection, but that's great that maybe you just go for it, or maybe you just play off that free thing. Like, should they even be free, right?
Right.
Here's that True Spy APK coming again, and
Okay.
it's like a 9,900 search, right?
Yeah. I wonder what's generating that search volume.
I know exactly what it is.
Ads?
No, this True Spy app has a fucking it gets like 1 million page views a month. They're a multi-million-dollar a year competitor.
Okay.
So I think the takeaway in this keyword research is like, look at what I did, right? I went to the keyword planning tool. I put it into a tool I paid money for. And then when I exhausted that tool, I canceled the membership to minimize the damage, right?
Yep.
I sorted by their SEO difficulty score. And what I'm finding is the easy ones to rank for are not the generic Android spy app. It's competitors. It's competitors. So the strategy would be to write articles placing yourself as an alternative to your competitors and highlight why you're better and differ from them. That's the pattern I'm seeing in this.
Yeah, I would totally agree.
So if you're in a market of larger competitors, the playbook would be to compare yourself to them and write articles, and those articles will probably rank very easily because no one else is doing that. They're all going after the generic terms.
I agree.
That don't get as much volume. And, you know, here it is again. This person's already educated on why they need this.
Yep.
Right? I have to sell them that I'm a better solution.
Yeah.
This really demonstrates it too. It's like, here's a generic one, best Android monitoring app. Like no one searches for that.
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe these guys spent a ton of money on traffic and educated people and got them to this part of their funnel. And you can go in and cherry pick 10x of traffic, right?
Yeah.
Like this True Spy is friggin' all over the place. I'm getting pretty pumped, man. Shit. All right, I have to write a True Spy app. Android True Spy app. Damn. That's on a lot. Web Watchers pop it in there too. So that's my takeaways on it.
I like it. So you got like what, 8 posts with groups of these keywords?
Well, that's the other half of it is I'm seeing a couple. I'm definitely seeing something about True Spy. That Spy Bubble one looks interesting. I could work my way through these, you know, and just kind of learn the landscape. But I've already got a bunch of posts I've done, and they're already getting traffic. And I feel like, I mean, I guess you could write more posts, but you could just throw links at the posts that are already working and just have them do more. And what I'm noticing is happening, Mike, is like I wrote a post to target. Oh boy, it was hidden Android spy app. It didn't have the free modifier. It was hidden spy apps for Android. I went after this keyword right here, right? Because I recognized it had a pretty high search. And my new blog post is like position 60, but my cheating spouse Android blog post shows up on page 1 for this term. And so it's like, well, just throw more links at the cheating spouse. Obviously, Google likes it. Just push the winner, you know?
Right.
And so I don't feel like, I mean, I guess I could write some articles for it, but I don't feel like there's a burning need to do it. But after looking at the data with you, I'm a little more amped up to do it now.
Yeah, because what about those like that spy bubble and stuff? Like you can't just necessarily put that into another post, right? You'd have to create a new one.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I'd say I see a couple posts in here for sure. And probably that's something I should do.
It makes sense.
All right. Sorry, man. I'm going to stop the screen share in here. Jeez. It drives me crazy. There we go. Oh.
Okay. So you're saying that you're going to either boost the post that you already have going or write new blog posts or both.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like, let's say the cheating spouse blog post is doing well. It gets like 300 people a day to it, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to go write a Truth Spy article blog post, and I go do that, right?
Yep.
Now, when I buy links, would it be better to point them at the post that's already got some mojo behind it and just amp it more? And I guess the answer is, well, both, right?
I guess both, yeah. And then connect them too from your
site.
Yeah,
of course.
And then, but if you said it's already #1, where else could it go up for? Like other variations of the keyword or what?
That's exactly what happens. Is so just because it's in the top 2 or 3 position for your keyword, as it gets more links, it just starts lifting in other ones. And I think it's pretty typical that even your top keyword only accounts for maybe low double-digit % of your overall traffic. It's so friggin' scattered amongst all these keywords. That's why when you see a pocket of them, there's probably hundreds and hundreds of keywords. It'll get a couple views a day that it adds up, right?
True. Tons of variations.
Yeah. But from going through it with you, I think it's something I should look at.
Yeah, I guess for all of us, that should always be like an ongoing thing too, is, always creating some sort of new post if possible, especially probably most of us in that category where we create our own content, or if even hiring out, have someone else create it. But in most cases, we're doing it.
And if you hire it out, quality's got to be there.
Yeah, that's always tough for sure.
That's the major thing. I would say, yeah, if you got a crappy article, you can throw links at it and it'll get up to page 1 for a minute. But Google will sniff that out real fast.
I would say that's probably like a missing skill, I would say, for most businesses, at least for like the TYT client SEO service, where, they have us write it, which we do a pretty good job. It took us a long time to figure all that out, how to do that at scale. But like coming from the business owner, at least I know, and like you can write a really good one because all like the customers' little objections and angles and everything about your product. But I find that business owners, they have like blocks with writing. Like, what do I say, And for me, it's always like easy what to say. For me, it's probably just hardest structuring and like all the detail, and probably just like starting, just thinking about it seems like a lot, but just like doing it is probably the key to getting it done. But I feel like a lot of people do have blocks, but I feel like you're a pretty good writer, right? Did you learn, or did you just do it, or whatever it takes? Or what's your kind of
that's what I was gonna say, is how many blog posts have you written in your life, if you had to throw a number on it?
Shit, maybe I'll say 250.
Hundreds, right? 100,
yeah,
not 5.
Right.
Yeah, when I got started 10 years ago at blogging, when it was the hot thing, I wasn't good at it,
Mm-hmm.
It's like anything. If you do it enough, you get better at it.
True.
For me,
people don't put in the practice. It's so key.
It's not even an effort thing. It's just a focus thing. It's just getting it on my schedule to do it and giving it attention.
Oh,
I
got a really good book I got to grab.
Yeah.
This book I was just thinking about, it's called Talent is Overrated. Let me see. Are you still full?
Yep, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, talent's overrated. And basically the whole book just makes the point that like the most talented people weren't really born with the talent. They were just like in the right environment and just put in that, tons of practice and practice and practice. And that's like how you really get good,
I heard the 10,000 hour principle to be a master and I always think about that. Like I definitely have 10,000 hours of programming under my belt.
Yeah.
I don't know, blogging and writing, it's probably over 1,000 hours. It's not 10,000, but it's probably over 1,000. I've done it a lot,
Right.
And I don't think I'm good by any means, but I am better than someone who hired out a low-cost, foreign-sounding person to spam the internet. My articles are definitely better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's like a 15 to 20 minute brain dump, and then the editing and cleaning up the articles, the longer part, that's maybe 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But when you're done with that hour, it's not like you can just change gears and jump on something else. You need a little bit of cool down time, like go work out or something.
Yeah, seriously.
Pretty mentally taxing, but
my goal lately has been to produce one piece of content a day, no matter what. So
that's a great strategy.
YouTube, Instagram, just make it a daily habit, like no matter what. Not necessarily a blog post. It's probably like my weakest area, which I should definitely, integrate that in. But yeah, something, just a YouTube live for me. Yeah, video is so easy. That's why I like these. I mean, if we tried to write this, back and forth, it'd be pretty tough.
Yeah. One thing you can do is get the video transcribed.
True.
I used a service. I forget how much they were, from the three or 3 to 5 minute video was a couple bucks. It's like under $5, and you ended up with like a 500-word blog post.
True.
The editing again took a lot of time, but you could just kind of put it up there. It's better than nothing.
True.
Teeth in it.
And what I found really helpful too is like having like a framework. Like my favorite one is like why, what, how. So like putting the why, like why do you want to read this? Why is it important? X, Y, Z, etc. And then what, giving the info, the facts, the stats, the principles, the diagram, the model, etc. And then the how, the steps, what to do.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Wow. Keep it simple. And then, yeah, then just like I mentioned, like just doing it, you know, get in that habit. And then, yeah, having the right keywords is key. So hopefully that's drilled in from this video is using those 3 different things. Competition, either using kwfinder.com or just search volume can also be a indication of competition, or just the keyword itself about, you know, if it's so broad in general, most people will think of it versus something else, they won't think of it. So that can be used for competition. And then of course, search volume, enough people searching it to make it worth it. And then 3, like, is it going to convert? Does it have free, or is it some sort of other weird thing? Like how likely would it turn to a sale? Using those filters, you can find tons of keywords and then, yeah, create that content. And then, yeah, you can turn it into a habit. That's key because I think what you know from experience, and same with me, is like, you don't know which ones are going to bring, you know, your search volume in. I remember we talked about it like a few episodes back, like on this Profit It Pro channel, one of my best videos is like Kong jump cut video ad. It's a certain ad that I reviewed. I would never know. I reviewed like 10 different ads and did like tons of other videos. And that's the one that, you know, brings in the most views. So you just don't necessarily know all the time, you know, just that's just how it is, I would say. Right.
I think about that more and more. I think, boy, thousands of people could watch this video or read this blog post. Like, treat it that way, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with writing the blog post, you're going to spend money on advertising for it. Like, you don't want to put junk out there. You know, you want this to rank in Google. You want it to get you customers, you know? Just muscle up that last little to really go through and clean it up one last time, you know? And that's not normally like me.
True. And then, yeah, talking about paid ads too. Yeah, you can definitely run paid ads to it. Like, the more I think about it, like if you can just like with the keywords, you don't know which one is going to convert. Same with kind of this organic and paid stuff too. You can sometimes don't know which one's going to convert better,
totally, right?
etc. And yeah, you just got to experiment and see. And then also synergy, sometimes it helps, like some paid traffic, you know, you're getting some love and, you know, some metrics on it. And then you built it for organic. So you try to make it so high value, which then actually does help, you know, ads convert better.
Yeah.
So like they can definitely both be used, I would say. So yeah, you just got to do it, right?
Yep. I'm gonna put it in my notes to at least write one of the blog posts, and definitely to go through and fix the Google Analytics, because we're making decisions on that, you know? Yeah.
That's always one thing I noticed too from businesses, is that the tracking's never set up correctly. Interesting.
Yeah. Like one last problem. You saw those 12 people on my site, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've checked it, and there's been like 25 and 30 before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got a text message about 3 or 4 nights ago at 11:30 at night. The PC Tattletale's down. I'm like, oh shit. So I check my phone and the site's loading, and then I get a text message that the site's up, and then it loads. It's a little slow, but it loads up, and I'm like, okay. And I go back to bed. 2 in the morning, I get another text message, PC Tattletale's down. I'm like, shit. Wow. Those are nice to get at 2 in the morning, huh?
Yeah, I can't believe you can wake up to that.
No shit, right?
Yeah.
I check my phone, and now it's down, you know? And I go and I log in at 2 in the morning and restart the server. And then I get a text message that it's up. And I check my tech support in the morning, and people complaining that they couldn't use the site at midnight, and some guy was trying to buy and the site was going down, and was down from 11 to 2 in the morning, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because the database is under so much stress. I could not believe how much traffic's going into this database.
Wow.
So now I got scaling problems to deal with.
That's
Just
a good problem.
keeping it running. Just keeping it running. Yes. Yeah. So this weekend, that's another thing I got going on. I'm gonna, not to get too technical, but I've got like one server, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it does everything, much like most servers. It does the web requests, it does the database, it's handling email, it's doing DNS, it's doing like all this stuff. And it's a big server, but it's still doing everything. And when it gets a flood of something, it just chokes. It can't do it. And so I need to get the database off this server and into something else. I'm going to use Amazon self-scaling database system. So I'm going to have Amazon host the database. I'll talk about that in a future call, but that is something else that's going on. Is just people think SaaS businesses are great. You get a little success under your belt, and now you can't keep it running. You're getting text messages at 2 a.m. that your business is offline and no one can use it or buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pros and cons of every business for sure.
Every business. So let's shift gears on your business. You got your book done?
Yeah, it's done now.
Nice.
99% of all the mistakes. Yeah. So let me share my screen here. So I'll just give a quick update, hopefully just 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
Just to give a little update. Okay. Wow, this isn't the exact copy of it, but let's zoom out. So yeah, put it into Microsoft Word and yeah, then edit it there. So it's got to be pretty giant, 429 pages. So definitely big. So let me switch. So yeah, so now it's this book. So it's kind of funny iteration. So this was version 1, how thick it was. Then this was version 2, and then this is version 3.
Oh my God. You know what I love about that? Let me see
What?
that. It reminds me of like one of those old programming books. You seen them, like Learn C++ and big fucking book, man. That's what it reminds me of, is a programming book.
Yes.
Is that the longest piece of content you've ever written?
Yeah, that definitely is. Yeah. 430 pages. True. Talk about.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like there's like 230 probably blog posts within that, because there's 230 little sections.
Wow.
Okay. And then I recorded it on Audacity. So all the tracks are like this. And then I did file, export multiple. And then for each one, so now they're all in here. So like this is the intro tracks. These are section 1 tracks. And then these are section 2 tracks. And then section 3. This is the biggest section. This one came out to 5 hours long altogether. One section. Total 12 hours. Pure audio.
That's 12 hours is like the unabridged version of a book, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the unabridged means, but
unabridged is it's like the full raw thing, and you get the abridged version where they shorten it up.
Okay.
They kind of give you the highlights and get it down to 2 hours.
But let me switch back. Yeah. So within the book though, like, I don't know if it's I definitely also did some sort of like I kind of gave more like explanation where some needed, and like I did my best to change, like, so on this page, so then I would say like something different in the audio. I did my best, but there's still some. But then yeah, so then each of those albums is kind of like named for each of them. I think it's really hard to see.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So then you can put it on your audio or on your phone, and then, you know, just go to whatever, you know.
Number 7, explaining the new opportunity. That your product, your service is something new. Because remember, most people have already tried something in the past to get what they want. It didn't work out for whatever.
So yeah, so all the audio, you can throw it right in your phone.
I just got a tip for PC Tattletale. It's the new improved version of True Spy. Okay, go.
Yep, people love
See, man, I already got one tip from you.
That's awesome. 15 seconds, one tip. Man,
Yeah.
think about 12 hours.
12 hours. Come on,
Going to
man.
be exploding. Okay, so now here's my newest thing. So I started working on PowerPoint, and it was just way too logical. It wasn't working. So I downloaded this new program, and it may look kind of complex at first, but it's called Focusy, but it's a really sweet program. It's basically like Zoom in application, and you can basically put the slides wherever you want. Then this is going to look kind of crazy, but then you put like pass to it. And then you can have it go. So because I kind of wanted to, I'm not sure if I can execute totally, because I thought of this afterwards, but I want like some sort of big picture. Obviously, there's like 5 main sections: planning, targeting, your ad, your funnel, and then refining as well. So I want some sort of big picture because I can zoom out, but then each of these are the parts. So then I explain them, and then it can go from like one to another. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to execute it because they all have like a path or how I'm going to do that, but it seems pretty interesting tool. You mind like 5 minutes? You want to see it and see if I'm on the right track of creating it? Because I want to create into a video program for one.
Yeah, I don't even understand how it would work.
Okay, yeah.
What's it do?
I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Know if you can't hear it or anything.
You're listening to Too Bad's Profit Playbook by Mike Pyatt and the Profit It Pro Productions team. Read by yours truly, Mike Pyatt. Profit with impact. Now on to the table of contents, just to get a quick big picture overview of the 5 main sections. But first, we'll start with an introduction to lay some groundwork, then go into section number 1, process planning, go over all the big picture pieces for alignment, put all those in place. Then section number 2, focused funnel, putting all the core influence factors and pieces into your funnel for the highest conversions. And then section number 3, acquisition video ad creation, creating your high converting video ad. And then section number 4, tactical targeting, setting up all the targeting your ideal customer with the right ad type, the right triggering methods, keeping it organized, etc. Then section number 5, relentless refining. Refine the campaign, what to refine, what to track, how to refine it until it's making the success and profit you want each month consistently. And then go into the conclusion, connecting it all up together. Then you'll be done. I promise you, you're going to love this book. So let's go ahead and get started right now. So let's get into it now with the insightful introduction, setting the foundation for a profitable, successful campaign at scale. Cracking the code of profitable YouTube ads. The path to figure this all out has been a long one, to say the least. Specifically, 8 years now. From my first business, writing and scaling a book about how to become a radiographer, someone who takes x-rays of broken bones since I used to be one. Then, creating and selling a product on how to write a book, since that was a struggle for me at the time, and I knew it could help others as well. Then, using YouTube ads on my own clients from my search engine optimization business, meaning ranking businesses in Google. Then doing YouTube ads for other businesses like Vince Del Monte, Yuri Elkeem, Bob Proctor, etc. And making a ton of mistakes along the way, losing way too much money, but also learning a ton, making a ton of profit, and learning things such as targeting multiple dimensions, what it takes to have the highest converting ad, and what ad types work best and what ones work worst, how to do this all, the different combinations, etc. And it's all laid out in this book for you. I've spent the last year working on just documenting this, last 7 years figuring this all out, so I know you're going to love it. For many reasons, like this book is going to save you years from a lot of trial and error, figuring it all on your own, save you thousands of dollars, misspent money, just like I did. You'll get the accelerated path to get the profitable YouTube ads on average, spending less than you make from acquiring a customer on average, and scaling that to make the income and impact you want each month consistently. So without further ado, let's get into it right now. The YouTube ads pure profit formula. Within the near future.
So Mike,
YouTube ads.
What's up?
Set up.
This is a tool to make the presentation.
Yes. Yep. So basically, it can go to like each one. I'll kind of skip, but I guess the big stuff is I'm basically doing the editing with it, but then you can like zoom out and have different like levels.
Then we'll go into part 4, tactical target.
And even people can have this version too
into part
online
5,
where they can just hit the space bar to go to like each next kind of slide.
Producing the right words.
And then
speed using this.
So this is, so I would fill in. So this is like each of those little sections I was saying, there's 280 of these, like, so I would just fill in little points for this. And then I just put the audio behind it. And I'm experimenting with like different designs and stuff. So I want people to see kind of like the connections, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Because Sarah just said like it just looks like a bunch of different like transitions, but it's supposed to be like we're building like a big picture map. My theory was I wanted like when you zoom out, it's like gonna build something kind of like a puzzle piece, you know? So each piece would kind of be like a little piece.
Oh, I see.
So when you zoom out, then you can see kind of like continents, so to speak. When you zoom in, you see like little pieces, and you can kind of go from big picture to little picture. I'm not sure if that's going to be achieved since I didn't really think of that like from the beginning, or I may have to like integrate new ways of like saying things. But this application is pretty sweet that you can zoom in. Basically, you can zoom in to like infinite level and zoom out to like infinite level and just do kind of crazy stuff like that. So yeah, I'll exit it, but
that's cool.
Yeah,
I would use it. I would use it as if it helps you make a sales video better.
Yeah, I mean, this is the product.
Like as that thing's going on, I just think like the audiobook, it's kind of passive, right? I could be out mowing the lawn or putting Christmas lights up and listening to you while I'm doing that.
Right.
The video requires me to like sit at attention for long periods of time. That just seems like magnitudes for me personally, magnitudes harder to do for something that's 3 or 4 hours.
It's 12 hours too.
12 hours. There you go. If there was a reason that I like a true reason I had to sit in front of it and see it, and I'll use learning how to code as example. I need to like see how it's done. You can't explain it over audio. I have to see, or you want to demonstrate how to create an ad, right?
Yeah.
That stuff, like I see the advantage of wanting a video for that.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's both. I think if someone bought this, they wouldn't necessarily or obviously need to buy the audio version since it's like the same thing. This is just morphed with videos. But then you can take it. I was thinking of if I could also, that'd be really cool. I could buy little MP4 players in bulk, then like sell those on the site too, that they would get with it like preloaded with it. That way they can like look at it if they want, or they can just, like you said, go do stuff too, and maybe a combination of both.
Yeah, like a video course for me to get value out of a video course, where it's going to be like more of a step-by-step, here's how to do it. So I know it sounds basic, but step 1, create a YouTube account, and we'll walk through how to do that. Step 2, how to create your ads. Step 3, how to,
like once you,
and then you walk up through a progression.
So I would say like more, like different sections. Yeah. So like new Google Ads account creation, conversion tracking setup, other tracking tools, then like the types of ads, the type of triggering methods. So I think like some of it, and especially like when you're creating your video ad, I think like seeing examples, like, I mean, I show like the purple video ad, a Twix video ad, Ty Lopez, Vince Damani, one of my ads. So I think, like the intro is probably not the best because I'm just like adding slides to it. But that's why if I can make also some visuals, because I think a lot of people are visuals. And I mean, and the main reason is I guess hopefully not the main reason, but I mean the upsell, because obviously you can sell a video course more for audio, or at least have that option. Yeah, and someone already did buy the
higher perceived value, which is strange.
So I think, yeah, maybe they would use it in combination. Like they could either, if I would sell like an MP4 player that came preloaded with this, or if they would throw their own the video on their phone so they can listen to it, and I could kind of explain that. Or if someone really is visual and wants to see it kind of on their computer as they take notes and see it. I don't know. But yeah, I'll show you then. So this is the project management sheet that I made for it, just to keep track of what I got to do. So all those like 280 pieces are all,
geez, man,
here. Yeah. And then I made steps that I basically have to do. So I have to like place the slide and then do the connection, and then I have to add pictures and then arrange them, and then add my voice, and then animations for the timings. So like each one I'd mark off here, and then 21% done now, but most of it's easy, like the place. I'm adding these placements, but then it's a little harder or longer to take pictures and then do the animation timing.
So this is going to be the video course?
Yeah, this is going to be the video course. Yep. And I was thinking like I could remake one, like a shorter one, just for the video course, but then like just starting from scratch is going to take a long time too. And like these are still all the elements that one would need to know, kind of starting from scratch, to know about video ads, the funnel, the targeting, and how to refine it. So
no, you're already 20% of the way through it.
I mean, yeah, except
it sounds like you kind of got a direction.
I really like.
If you're going through this, Mike, I'm just thinking to myself, like, of course you want it to be the best it can be, right?
Yep.
Most people don't go through video courses, so it's a non-issue.
Yeah, and another point too, though, is what my marketing strategy would be is I actually bought 30 MP4 players, and then I'm going to ship them to like top influencers.
Yeah, that seems great.
So that way, when they hit play, they would see the video course and either get sucked in. I'll explain. You can listen to it or watch it. That way they get that plus the book plus the MP4 player, kind of have the whole packet. So I think that's kind of a piece too, is to really attract and inspire the influencers too to promote it.
That is a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, with like a handwritten letter, with the book and the MP4 with it on there, so they can look through the book, they can listen to it, and yeah, they can have it. Yeah, so that's my plan. Yeah, and then with the upsells, yeah, they can get the book. The customer can get the book, the audio version, or the video version. Audio and video is kind of the same, so maybe some won't take it. So the first sale, I've had 2 people buy now. The first guy bought the book, the audio, and the video, and the second guy got just the book. So it's kind of funny. Like I made profit with the first guy, but the second guy actually lost money because it cost more to make and ship than,
Yeah, what's it cost to send that book?
$10.60.
Okay, so you're losing them. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm losing a few dollars.
I would put that in your sales copy.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Totally justified. Then it's like, look, it's a 450-page book. Even at $9, I'm losing money. I'm even losing money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, my
hypothesis, Mike, is most people are going to say, I like the book for reference, but I'll never read that many pages. Love the convenience of the audio. They'll get the audio.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah, because it's definitely way easier. Now for me, I think now that I see the video, like at first when I finished the audio, I was super hyped on the audio, but now I'm pretty hyped on the video.
The video?
Yeah, because I'm like, wow, I can show like a lot of different connections, and like I can do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll basically see. But yeah, dude, wait till you get your hands on this. Maybe next session, when the cart's ready and everything fully. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to buy the book and the audio. That's what I want to do.
Probably for years, I'm always like finding little mistakes, like, you know, throughout it. It's probably going to take forever to actually proof this to a degree. Because I hate when you get like really good, like, or like school type people that proof it and they'll like just change it so it doesn't read as well, but it's more like grammatically correct, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that many people to proof in terms of that way. But yeah, and then going through the video, I've like noticed a few audio edits, which I've already edited and then re-rendered. So yeah, it's coming along. So yeah.
You learning the content better?
At this point, I think I really know the content like really well. It's such a weird, I don't know if the word is dichotomy or whatever, but like I want to market it so bad. Like you said, like there's so many different ideas. There's different formats, you know, there's different pitches, different angles. Yeah, start off with saying, you know, this is all in this book, but if you're like me, you don't like reading as much or don't have the attention span to read, get it on audio or video, whatever works best for you, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, so there's a lot of applications for marketing, which will be sweet. And then using it too, which will be awesome as well. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's good. Yeah, I definitely want to like move on then to the upsells and selling it. But if I tried to do the other approach of selling it and then making it later, like I'd be so disconnected with the content, you know. It's still relatively easy that I could create that kind of big picture map and do all this because I already had it, you know, I already wrote it and then edited all or recorded all audio and edited it. So at the end of this, yeah, I'll have this shit like memorized, but
it's hard to switch from working on your product to marketing. It's
yeah, definitely. There's always those two things, you know.
That's like when you said I'm going to do one piece of content a day. The first thing that went through my head is like, days I'm not writing code. Yeah, I can do that. Days I am writing code, it feels impossible to make that switch, like really hard.
And you know what's so sweet? Let me show you on, dude, they make it so easy to post YouTube videos now. I mean, you probably know this, but like right on, you know, your YouTube app, literally you can just press that button and then go live. And you go live right from your phone. You just put in a title and then literally you can just go live with it.
Wow.
Yeah, which is sweet because then it uploads. You don't have to edit or anything. So you can always do just one video, you know, kind of like you did with Periscope.
Yeah.
But then put like Periscope, you can just go right to YouTube and you can make videos right on YouTube that way. And also, yeah, and then you can literally set up ads like instantly too, which is crazy, just to get some views going with that. Or yeah, whatever channel you want to do.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, so probably the hardest would be like writing. Yeah, but if you're a good writer, or I mean, you need to write content regardless. That's probably my weakest point. Is probably like writing the content, especially when you're writing like other content information products. It can be kind of hard too to even write more, you know, on top of all this creativity.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it's what you got to do. So yeah, hopefully everyone got some insight from that. Yeah. So sometimes, yeah, you just got to put in the work and put in your product. Everyone's at different stages. Don't necessarily focus on what others are doing, so to speak. Focus on what you need to do.
You're here.
Because another thing too is like, I used to like listen to a lot more like marketing when I was making my product, and I would just like build up all these backlogs of so many marketing ideas, you know, just makes it harder. So it's like for me, just focus on getting this done. And then, yeah, then into marketing. But yeah, it's definitely tough with info products when it's such a long time to create it and then market it. But then by the time, like, I already have a few more ideas for other info products and stuff, you know? So it's like, it's always going to be a process of creating and marketing. So I don't know if I'll ever like hire out for that specific marketing. And with like, I guess we can talk about a different call, but then like, yeah, hiring someone for the content creation, you know, is such the hardest part. would be a long-term thing for someone to really learn it all, to be able to become like an expert type of person, you know, to market it.
I think your time in the marketing is more valuable, and in the creation is more valuable to things like the video editing, right? Like frankly, anyone can do that, and that's
Right.
the time suck, the editing of the book.
Yep.
So
Yeah. And yeah, so I'm using also like Mihai to also do this as well with the video stuff that he's like putting in these animations. I highlight it on the book where it comes in, and he'll like figure out the time and put it on there. So, yeah, delegation on that type of stuff, because I love like that big picture thing. Like I totally love that. I could do that every day. I was up like till like 2 a.m. working on the video program, just placing all those slides and how I see them fit, which is easy for me. But then the technical implementation of
like doing the slides, yeah,
actually put all the pictures, and then each animation, each second where I say the word and I want that one to appear. Yeah, so that's what I have Mihai for, which he loves that stuff, the technical stuff. So it's key, yeah, to delegate that stuff. But then it's interesting conversation, like what you can delegate and what you can't delegate, you know?
Yep.
Sometimes, yeah, like posts and stuff, it's really, really tough unless you have someone good. There's always a balance.
Yeah.
It's ongoing. These things are always going to be ongoing, you know? Growth, content, what to delegate, what not to delegate, etc. Where to go next, what to focus on, looking at the data, reoccurring themes for sure.
A lot of calls with it. Yeah. I think we're at a good stopping point. How about you?
So next time I will, for accountability, just have more of the video done, hopefully a big chunk of it, and I'll show it to you. But so basically I'm going to follow that same direction. So if basically that was for each slide, would that be cool in your terms? Even though you say you don't like video that much, but
I think you're already rolling with it. Whatever it takes to get it finished is the most important thing.
perfect.
Yeah. And I don't think it matters how it's delivered as long as it's delivered.
Awesome. And for next time, what are you going to do?
Next time I'm going to have my databases migrated. I would say the blog article, but getting a text message at 2 a.m. sucks. That sucks. That's got to get fixed. That's my main thing. Yeah.
Pain is a good motivator.
Yep, it can be. So
True.
we'll be doing that over the weekend, moving databases.
Nice. And for you watching, what is your next thing after hearing, you know, my perspective, Bryan's perspective, what we got going on? What do you have going on, and what are you going to do, at least right now, in the next week, et cetera, whatever deadline or time format you want to think about? What do you need to do next? And then do it. That's simple. Hope you got a lot of value from this. We'll chat next time. See you later. Peace.